Welcome to the video. Today we will explore the strategic question many young professionals face. When is the right time to move out while pursuing financial independence? We will transition from budgeting fundamentals to geographic arbitrage, and then weigh the controversial but powerful strategy of delayed gratification. Along the way, we will quantify an emergency fund target, compare cities, and give you a practical decision framework you can use immediately. Here is our agenda. First, we will cover the financial mandate, including budgeting and setting an emergency fund. Next, we will discuss geographic arbitrage and why location choice can change everything. Then, we will analyze the strategy of delaying a move to accelerate wealth. After that, we will give you a clear decision framework. Finally, we will include quizzes and wrap with key takeaways and a summary. Let us set the scene. You have no debt, a projected salary near $80,000 annually, at least $17,000 in cash, and over $50,000 invested. Therefore, you are not asking whether you can afford to move out. Instead, you are asking when it is most strategic to do so. In this context, we will integrate the numbers into a forward-looking plan and consider trade-offs. To begin, the financial mandate is to create a detailed budget and to quantify a 6-month emergency fund based on your future cost of living. With a roommate arrangement at approximately $1,500 per person, ensure you include utilities, internet, renter's insurance, transportation, groceries, health insurance contributions, and discretionary spending. If your projected monthly spending totals $4,000, then your minimum emergency fund target is $24,000. Next, automate contributions into a high-yield savings account until the emergency fund is fully funded, and then prioritize investments. Additionally, use tracking software to categorize expenses immediately and review monthly to detect lifestyle creep, ideally using 3-month rolling averages for accuracy. This flowchart illustrates the path from income to a stable foundation. First, income is allocated to fixed expenses, variable expenses, and taxes. Then, future monthly expenses are calculated to determine an emergency fund target equal to 6 months of those projected expenses. Next, automated transfers prioritize funding the high-yield savings emergency bucket until the target is met, at which point investments receive the next available dollars. Finally, a monthly review loop feeds back into the budget and targets, ensuring continuous improvement. Now let us consider geographic arbitrage. Moving to a region with a warmer climate and lower housing costs can materially increase your savings rate. For instance, Tampa or St. Petersburg often provide more affordability for approximately $1,500 per person compared to historically expensive coastal hubs like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. However, you should verify job transfer or remote options, research rents at the neighborhood level, and account for commuting costs and safety. Additionally, lean on cost of living indices and rental comparables for the specific block you are considering, rather than relying on citywide averages. Finally, explore roommate plans near transit and work areas to optimize both cost and convenience. This pie chart shows an example allocation for a $4,000 monthly budget. Approximately 37.5% goes to rent and utilities, 10% to groceries, 8% to transportation, 9% to insurance and health, 15% to building the emergency fund, another 15% to investments, and the remaining 5.5% to discretionary categories. These allocations are illustrative. You should calibrate each slice based on your actual quotes and lifestyle. Here we compare Tampa or St. Petersburg against Miami or Fort Lauderdale. On the left, many Tampa Bay neighborhoods can meet a $1,500 per person target more comfortably. Parking may be more available, and insurance premiums can be slightly lower. Commutes may be shorter if you are not in the peak downtown core, and dining and leisure options often offer strong value. On the right, Miami and Fort Lauderdale tend to have higher rents for similar quality. Insurance and parking costs can be higher, and denser cores may add time to commutes. While nightlife and variety are broader, costs for common activities can rise quickly. Your exact experience will depend on neighborhood selection and employer location. This table provides an illustrative monthly snapshot comparing moving out now with a roommate versus waiting 12 months while living at home. In the move now scenario, rent and utilities are about $1,500 per month, transportation $320, groceries 400, insurance and health 360, discretionary 220, emergency fund savings 600, and investments 600. In the wait scenario, rent is 0 while living at home, transportation is 250, groceries 350, insurance and health 360, discretionary 180, emergency fund savings 1200, and investments 1400. These figures are examples to demonstrate trade-offs and should be adjusted based on your actual quotes. Next, consider the controversial but powerful strategy of delaying your move for a period of 12 to 24 months. Each low-cost year accelerates wealth accumulation because you can redirect what would have been rent into your emergency fund and investments. With your strong starting base, an extra year of high savings can push your early career net worth beyond $150,000. A milestone-based approach can help. Commit to moving when you reach an emergency fund of $24,000 or more and maintain consistent investment contributions. Additionally, a 3 to 6 month trial sublet can validate location, commute, and roommate compatibility before you sign a longer lease. This timeline contrasts two paths. Track A represents moving now, starting at approximately $67,000 of net worth composed of cash and investments. Over months 6, 12, and 24, the path shows steady contributions, but a slower emergency fund build due to rent and utilities. Track B represents waiting 12 months, allowing faster accumulation of liquid reserves by month 12. Only after building a more comfortable cushion does Track B shift housing costs upward. Over 24 months, Track B tends to finish with higher reserves and comparable or greater investments, assuming disciplined contributions. This mind map organizes the decision to move out into 6 domains. Financial readiness includes reaching at least a 6-month emergency fund, having accurate budgeting, and being debt-free. Career considerations include remote or hybrid flexibility, transfer options, and salary growth trajectory. Housing covers neighborhood-level rents, safety, and commute time. Lifestyle reflects social ties, climate preferences, and amenities. Risk management includes insurance, health logistics, and keeping a minimum $5,000 buffer after moving. Timing emphasizes lease cycles and the usefulness of a 3 to 6 month trial sublet. Together, these branches help you evaluate readiness holistically. Here is the practical framework. First, audit current spending and forecast post-move expenses with a 5% accuracy target. Second, set the emergency fund target to at least 6 times future monthly expenses. For example, $4,000 times 6 equals $24,000. Third, confirm work logistics, including remote or transfer options, and any compensations or allowances. Fourth, compare 2 to 3 neighborhoods using rent comparables, safety data, and commute times. Fifth, run 2 scenarios, move now and wait 12 months, and select based on the stronger month, 24 net worth outcome. Sixth, if uncertainty remains, execute a 3 to 6 month trial sublet and reassess after 90 days. Seventh, commit to a lease only if a $5,000 or larger cash buffer remains after all move-in costs and furnishing spend. Quiz time. The question is, if your projected future monthly expenses are $4,000, what should your minimum emergency fund be? The options are $12,000, $18,000, $24,000, or $40,000. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is $24,000. The calculation is 6 months times the projected future monthly expenses of $4,000, yielding $24,000. Here is the next quiz. Which location strategy generally improves affordability for a $1,500 per person housing budget? The options are moving to the densest core of Miami, choosing Tampa or St. Petersburg neighborhoods that fit your budget, ignoring commute and safety to save on rent, or signing the first lease you see to lock a unit. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is choosing Tampa or St. Petersburg neighborhoods that align with your budget. Geographic arbitrage focuses on selecting markets where your dollars go further, while still meeting safety and commute needs. Before we conclude, a brief disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a fiduciary financial planner or other qualified professional before making major decisions. All numbers shown are illustrative. Verify costs and assumptions for your specific circumstances. Here are the key takeaways. Begin with budgeting and base your emergency fund on future expenses. If $4,000 is your projected monthly spending, target at least $24,000. Use geographic arbitrage to extend your housing dollars. Consider delaying 12 to 24 months to boost early career net worth. Finally, move when you meet milestones such as a complete emergency fund, stable investment contributions, and a sufficient post-move cash buffer. To summarize, you are financially strong, so timing is about strategy rather than possibility. Build a 6-month emergency fund based on future costs, and then invest consistently. Compare cities at the neighborhood level, and validate with a short sublet if needed. Run move now versus wait 12-month scenarios, and choose the option that leads to a stronger net worth at the 24-month mark. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you clarify your move-out timing, please like the video, share it with a friend who is planning a move, and subscribe for more strategic money content. In the comments, tell us your target city, your emergency fund goal, and whether you plan to move now or wait. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and helping you make the best decision